My name is Oje, Emmanuel Oje. I'm a PhD student from Nigeria, and I'm currently running my PhD at the Longo University of Agriculture and Natural Resources here in Malawi, Department of Aquaculture and Fisheries Science. My area of research is breeding, genetics, and nutrition. So basically, what I'm doing here is how to, mass propagate African catfish, popularly known as Clarus garipinos. And then we have received, especially myself, I've received financial benefit from the African Center of Excellence, World Bank, ACE Luana, okay, to mass produce African catfish, because my objective is also to breed, at the same time to formulate feeds using plant micronutrients. But in the context of this, I only talk about the breeding process and the breeding program. Prior to my coming to Malawi, or even before now, I've had stories and I've read all over the news and internet that there is this, it's very difficult, of course, to produce catfish here in Malawi in large quantities, and even in the laboratories, in the hatcheries and the like, due to some environmental factors and also maybe management issues. So I deem it fit and I take interest that, okay, with the support of African Center of Excellence, World Bank, ACE Luana, so I was able to be provided with some funds to carry out research in line with this. So basically, I myself from Nigeria, and I have a colleague of mine from Ethiopia. He's equally working in the area of catfish, but this time around he's making some crosses between catfish and then the batritus, which is popularly called Bombay here in Malawi. So far so good. We're able to produce, and then we're able to achieve our result. Even though it's not up to full capacity, we're able to achieve more than 70% hatchability rate. But the other one, which is the Bombay, we are still trying to see how we can also mass produce this. But for the catfish, which is Clarus garipinos, of course, I can tell you categorically that we're able to achieve more than 70% hatchability. So we have in the larval stage, we have the fingerlings, we have the shooters, we have the jumpers, we have the juveniles, and also we have almost getting to table size now. Since we received the fund from ACE through the center director, Professor Dawood Kassan, and other management staff of the department. So the process is very easy, and then what we're able to do, we're able to get some stocks from our sister research institute, that's National Aquaculture Center in NAC, Zumba. We're able to get some brood stocks, which are the parent stocks that we used in breeding, and we're able to get some male, and then we're able to get some females also from here at Bunda. So we're able to do that because we want to avoid issue of inbreeding, because that also plays a very significant role for to have a good breeding exercise, or a very good hatchability rate, because they'll be dropping due to environmental factors. At the same time, what we're able to come up during the course of this study is we're able to eradicate issue of this mentality of always sacrificing your male at every point in time, which is very wrong. They have rights. In UK, they have what is called animal rights. You can't just go to the farm and then start killing in the name of you want to mass produce. So for the purpose of what we have done, we're able to teach them that, okay, no, we can do this. So what we are doing now is, since we already know the exact location where we can get our meat, so what we do is we get our meal. It's just like normal CS for human being that's want to give birth. They already know the location where the baby is, then they go to that location, they macerate through the cesarean operation and the cesarean section to get baby. And the same thing is applicable here. But in this case, we already know the exact location where the sperm sac is located. So we macerate and then we're able to bring out the milk. At the same time, we're able to suture. Okay? So far so good. We have no more than 10, and I can tell you categorically that we have them there, and then they survive. Okay? So because the gonads comes in pair, so what we do is either we remove one out of the two, then you suture, or we remove the two okay, and see if the energy they will use in production, they wish to convert to growth. So that's another form of experiment which we are still trying to look into. So we remove one, then the other one we remove the two, then some will use syringe to take the 2 ml insulin syringe to draw the sperm, from the gonads and then put into the head of the female to see how these guys will respond. So we have the fish, the broodstocks that are over there, so that we can see if truly the gonads can regenerate after some time. So this is another line of research that we can look into. But for the purpose of this, we're just able to macerate and we're able to keep the broodstocks intact. Then for the female, 2 ways, because what brought about this idea is because catfish don't breed in captivity. Okay, so the only way they can do that is to see if you can mimic the natural environment. What do I mean by mimic? Mimicking in such a way that you try to create the wild in a culture medium. Okay, for example, in a natural environment, you're able to see aquatic plants, you're able to see some snails, aquatic snails, you're able to see sand, you're able to see different stuffs. Okay, so you try and imagine, you mimic that environment in a culture medium, and at that you cannot guarantee 100% hatchability once they come together. So the only way out is this artificial insemination, whereby you get the egg from the female, you get the sperm from the male, you fertilize artificially, like external fertilization, then you put them in the upper and they will hatch. And then from there you start taking care of the larvae. From larvae they get to fries, from fries to fingernails, and from fingernails to juveniles to table size and the like. So it all depends on what we are looking at. And this is stage that we're able to manage very well. And it's so far so good, I can tell you categorically that yes, we have these categories, whether fries, whether juveniles, whether fingernails, and all that. We have these categories as it stands now. And I want to, like I said, we are still trying to observe the outcome of the Bombay, the breeding, the crosses between the Bombay, that's the Batratus, and then the Clarus gariepinus. So in this case, I'm working with my friend from Ethiopia. We are working together on this line of research to see how we can improve the growth, how we can improve the growth of the fish, how can we improve the meat quality, okay, as a result of the crossing we are trying to, or the process that you have made. So we are trying to observe, of course we have some fingernails of the hybrids, both from the Clarus gariepinus and the Batratus. So both male Batratus, female Batratus, male Clarus gariepinus and female Clarus gariepinus. So we make this process together and we'll see the effect. If they will perform well or they will do well in terms of egg quality, in terms of meat quality, and in terms of good performance. Because what we're actually looking at is how can we, okay, mass produce this. That's number one primary objective. That's catfish generally, that's the clariday generally. Then two, how can we improve the meat quality? Can the crosses we are trying to make, give us the desired result we are expecting? So these are things we are trying to look at. And so far so good, through the support of the center, we're able to actualize some of these things, but we're only waiting for the outcome of that of Bombay and then the Clarus gariepinus to see, that's the hybrid, to see if we can come up with something positive that is far better off than what we are getting from the wild and the like. So these are the things that the center is supporting us with, and then we're happy to showcase that. Of course, we are not disappointed center, and then we have something to show in terms of the output or in terms of the expected result or expected outcome, which is obvious to everyone to see. Once again, I want to thank the center director, that's Professor Kassan, my supervisor, Professor Jeremiah Kangombe, and then my co-supervisor, Dr. Jerry, and then the head of department, Dr. Austin Nkotila, and other management of the management staff of the department. At the same time, I want to thank the secretariat of ACE for always taking on us to see what we're doing and how we go about all these processes.